So we're a few days until we return back from spring break, and I wanted to take a moment and kind of talk about the rest of the year. I'm not going to talk about any highlights or any activities we have going. I'm going to talk mostly about motivation. We all need some motivation from time to time. Me being a big guy with a few extra pounds, I needed motivation this morning to get into the weight room. So one of the things I Googled this morning was Eric Thomas. I encourage you to do that and look at his speech about I can, I will, I must. And it started to make me kind of think about our students here in the building. And so many students we have wonder in their heads, you know, what do I need to do to get into the college that I want to get into? What do I need to do to get the job that I want? What do I need to do to be the best at the sport that I have to play? And I'm going to try to impart what I know and what I've learned in my life's journey to you at this point. It all comes down to how bad do you want success? When you wake up in the morning, do you have a vision of what you want your future self to be? What you want to look like in a month from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do you have a goal and do you have a plan? And then the question becomes, what are you willing to sacrifice to make that happen? Sometimes that means you get up early. Most of the time it means you get up early. Sometimes it means you study longer than you had planned to do. Sometimes it means creating extra work for yourself to be a better student in the classroom. Sometimes it means instead of doing 5 reps in your set of bench presses, you do 6, and then you do an additional set on top of that. Sometimes it means running an additional hill. All of these things are part of the sacrifices that you need to make when you start asking yourself, what do I want to be in a couple of years? Who do I want to become? As you think about that and you have a vision of what your future self is, realize that that road is going to be long and it's going to be hard and it's going to be fraught with barriers. It's going to be fraught with people who tell you you can't. It's going to be fraught with people who tell you you can't work hard enough, that what you're doing isn't enough, that even if you have worked your hardest, that it's still not enough. And the trick is you don't listen. You go back to work. You double down. You work harder. You tell yourself every single time that voice inside says quit, that I won't. And sometimes you will. Sometimes you won't be as motivated as you need to be. But at the end of the day, the next day, if you wake up and you see that vision of who you want to become and the legacy that you want to leave behind, and you don't listen to that voice that day, then you've made progress. And once you string 1, 2, 3, 4 of those days together where you don't listen to that voice, then you really started to make that sacrifice and you start really becoming the person that you want to become. I'm a big proponent of setting goals. I'm a big proponent of seeing and visualizing the person you want to be. In my work here at the school, I think daily, many times a day of the school that we can become, we will become, and the school we're destined to become. I encourage you as students to think about the student you want to become, the friend you want to become, the athlete that you want to become, the son or daughter that you want to become, and then the adult that you aspire to be. And then as you figure that out, realize that you will have to pay the price and the toil and the sacrifice, and that means not always going out with friends, not always doing what's fun. Sometimes, most of the time, that means grinding and doing the things that no one pats you on the back for and no one tells you a good job for, but internally you know you did the right thing and you know that you're going to become the person that you want to be. So as we come back from spring break, I want you to think about those things as we go into the last 40 or so days of the year, and always keep an eye and a mentality on the person that you want to become. We'll see you Monday.